Hello, everybody. Welcome to the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. If you're a subscriber, hit the notification button so you know when we're on. Hit the like and share this episode if you would. If you'd like to help keep the show afloat financially, Cash App is $ American Doofus, all one word, AMERICANDUFUS. And you can email me, American Doofus, again, all one word, @gmail.com. This is Jerusalem. This is live. This is at the gate to the old city. This is the beginning of a night after protests, after rocket fire, after missiles, after a very tense and deadly day in Jerusalem. We're going to be going to Elizabeth City, North Carolina. In Elizabeth City, there are the family of Andrew Brown. Certain family members are viewing somewhere between 16 and 20 minutes of tape, body cam footage. Again, this is live. This is courtesy of Rupley. At the very beginning of this, just a few minutes ago, there were stun grenades tossed by Israeli forces. There have been numerous rockets fired. Of course, the rockets are basically guided by hand and not very effective. A lot of them exploding in the sky, not anywhere near a target. And the Israelis have countered with missile strikes into neighborhoods in the Palestinian territory. We're going to be going back and forth throughout this episode from the views that this camera is going to be giving us. This camera does not have any commentary at all. That doesn't mean I'm going to be talking all the time for those of you that are just joining. It just means we'll get the actual sounds and sights of what's happening in Jerusalem. And I'm going to be explaining as it goes along why Jerusalem is so important for those that have a question. And we're going to be cutting back and forth between here and Elizabeth City, North Carolina, awaiting the family to come out after seeing between 16 and 20 minutes of 2 hours worth of footage. Kelvin Black, hello. Industrial Arts Denver. This is what happened. Well, Israel is basically going to take over all of Jerusalem, and the eastern part of the city is a traditionally Palestinian city. A lot of people are being evicted from their homes. It's also the end of Ramadan from the Muslim perspective, and of course, this entire situation can be traced all the way back to Abraham and his two sons, Jacob and Esau. I was monitoring this last night. I didn't come live, but it was not as intense this early. It was never actually this intense as it has been up to this time. Things have just escalated throughout the day. The view we have now is basically of the beginning of the Palestinian part of East Jerusalem. And to the left of the screen, that is, it's not visible, but is the old city of Jerusalem. And there's a kind of a natural amphitheater with cement steps going down to the left. And that's where a lot of activity has been. The cameraman tried to get back to that position and was stopped by armed troops, and they're not armed with paintball guns and beanbag shotguns. Those were automatic assault rifles, as you will see walking past the center screen right now. Only a lot of them, you'll see a lot of them in the ready position. How it's been, things will be calm for a few minutes, and then there will be an explosion, and then there will be another explosion, and we hope each explosion is just a firework, just a distraction. So it is, I believe it's almost midnight. It's, I think it's like 11:53 in Jerusalem right now. I'm going to step back and see what's happening in Elizabeth City. Kamed, how are you? Again, thank you, everybody. Yes, Komet. And actually, I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut later on to briefly to Ford Fisher, who was gracious enough to give an interview to the show. Um, Ford is in Washington D.C. right now, where a pro-Palestinian demonstration is taking place in front of the State Department in Washington D.C. As the Free Palestine hashtag, I'm sure, is trending worldwide. And for those that have a biblical understanding, you don't need to be told why eyes are on Jerusalem. I'm created blessed to have you with us. Thank you. I'll be back up here in just a few moments. We're going to cut to
For Jewish Americans and Jews around the world are waking up, and the change is coming.
this is outside of the State Department in Washington, D.C.
If we haven't already, and I think most of us here have.
News to share.
Zedek Teardog. Justice we shall pursue. And we need to make sure that we keep reminding everyone in the U.S. government, the State Department, everyone in the Biden administration, as well as our members of Congress, that it's time to stop letting Israel get by, that it's no longer acceptable to ignore their human rights violations and the violations of international law. So, Zedek, clear it up. Justice, you shall pursue. Thank you, everyone. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Free, free Palestine. 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 Free, free.
So you can see a sizable crowd gathered in Washington, D.C. A large crowd in London also protesting what's going on in Jerusalem. We'll be showing that throughout the night, reactions from the streets. And speaking of reactions from the streets, we go now live from Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Again, awaiting the family members of Andrew Brown to come out after viewing the body cam footage. This is Deshaun Soul Morris. You can follow him on Facebook and see his videos. I forgot to do this at the beginning. As always on the American Doofus Show, when doing live episodes, the comments and commentary you hear may not be those of the show unless you're hearing them from me. Thank you again for watching, everybody. Let's go back to the streets.
Yes, so family ain't came out yet. Yeah, I know y'all. You know what I'm saying? You one of the ones that be out here like that, man. So, just trying to make sure, man, that everybody aware that it can happen to you, man. So, I'm basically just trying to make sure everybody be aware. We gotta start policing ourselves, man. Make sure. Just gotta make sure, man, we get that accountability responders, man.
And we'll go back to Seoul when the family begins to come out, cutting in and out of various stories throughout the night. Those that have watched this method of an episode, we'll know that something's happened here. They're cleaning things out. And my feed went down for just a moment, and then by the time it came back up, again, if you're just joining, this episode is a little more worldly than our normal, but things have been deadly in Israel today, and things remain tense as we go into the night. Again, the view we're seeing is from Ruptly, and this is above the I believe it's the Damascus Gate to the old city. You'll get a view of the amphitheater-like structure that I was talking about earlier, right here. Now, just before we cut to this, a water cannon truck went through. Only it doesn't spray just water; it sprays a very unfriendly to the nostrils scent. It's been described as everything from putrid to anyway. So that disperses the crowd rather quickly, and they always come back. And it's early out there, relatively speaking. And it seems like most of the military and the police, well, there they are. There's the water cannon truck. And numerous international news organizations reporting that the buildings you're seeing right now that the people's gardens, their apartments have been well penetrated, I guess, with the odor that whatever chemical they're spraying out of that uh, water tank gun. Um, it's a lingering odor. Again, down here, as you're looking down, this is kind of an amphitheater area. You're just seeing maybe a third of the actual size. Last night, rockets launched within this facility when about 1,000 people were in there. There you see the gate to the old city of Jerusalem. I believe it's the Damascus Gate. So again, we've cut to a pro-Palestinian state rally in Washington, D.C. Again, Ford Fisher providing the footage there, news to share. We're going to cut back to Elizabeth City, North Carolina here momentarily. Deshaun Soul Morris on the ground in the streets, awaiting reactions from the family of Andrew Brown upon seeing anywhere from 16 to 20 minutes worth. There's discrepancies as to how much they were going to actually see. We'll figure that out. So, hello, Rachel Murray. Well, the word attack, you know, this is, to begin with, this is not a fair fight, not even close to a fair fight. The Palestinians launch, say, 300 rockets, and 150 of them explode in the air, or more, and maybe 3 to a dozen actually hit something, and not necessarily a target because they don't have the equipment to target anything. So the response is a guided missile with probably multiple warheads of some sort, and precision aimed and hit what it's aimed at in the neighborhood. So attacks are while the word is used the same way, they're vastly different in how they're carried out and the effectiveness and quite frankly the mortality rates. They're pushing the Antichrist agenda, one world order. Yes, that is yeah, in international, what I've been monitoring internationally, that indeed is a topic, and there have been calls for Trump's son-in-law, and Trump himself. There've been calls for the heads of numerous people, and Benjamin Netanyahu not among the least. So yeah, there's incredible angst. I'll just put it that way, and allow that to be interpreted. At the end of episodes, I say it's a dark world. Try to be light, and usually I'm talking about something happening locally or at least within our country. And but it seriously is a dark world, and do try to be a light. We're going to go briefly back to Elizabeth City.
All these movies bullshit. I said we got all these news bullshit. They're from everywhere. Rich law. That ain't touched the Maybach car. He ain't switch up. He said the Maybach might have been too much. I don't think that's it. So what we doing right now, man, we just waiting on the family. We did see some family members at the door. At this time, we don't know exactly how much or what it was until them on the footage that they seen today. So y'all just make sure that y'all, you know what I mean, every now and then just share this for me. Y'all make sure that we get this stuff out right here. We need all hands on deck with this, man. We know that they are up to no good here in Elizabeth City. We know they are up to no good here in the city. Still got all these news crews out. I'm gonna film as long as I can, y'all.
All right, we're going to cut away and go back to another view, a different angle, momentarily here. Back to Jerusalem. Switch angles. Here is this cameraman. Okay, he took the shot. All right. And this is from Rupley. We're looking at the just outside the old city of Jerusalem. Been a site of confrontations over the last few nights. They've just intensified. It is after midnight there, so we'll monitor here for a little bit and see if things remain the same, as we hope they are. Just a brief recap. Elizabeth City, North Carolina, waiting on family members of Andrew Brown that have viewed the body cam footage to come out. I can't imagine what that family's going through. Here in Jerusalem, we cut briefly as well to Washington, D.C. for a live look at a fairly large protest developing in front of the State Department in Washington, D.C. A very large protest in London, England earlier, and I'm imagining that New York City will probably have some activity tonight as well. And for those that are just joining us, that's Doofus Dog. T-Rex, yeah, there have been people calling for Trump's head from the Palestinian perspective, and Jared Kushner and the whole family, and there have been some there's incredible tension, and that's putting it mildly. Rochelle, it's called notification and communication. We do know this, do we not? We today have so many means of communication. It's only happening because it is what they want. Yeah, we do. We have so many means of communication. We talk about that a lot on the show. That the more we talk with each other, the more we find we have in common as just human beings, and hate is a really big waste of energy, especially when you combine it with ignorance and think that the time you spend hating, you could spend learning. And I've got to let Doofus Dog out. I hear you. We're cutting to Elizabeth City, North Carolina.
While there was a group of law enforcement that were in front of him, he went the opposite direction. As he turned to the left to go across his yard, a second shot was fired, and as he began to accelerate and increase his speed, tracks and blood began to appear in the yard, and when his car was clearly across the yard, at all times what we saw were police officers standing on the pavement unloading their weapons. There were so many shots that we found difficulty in counting the number of shots. What did I tell you? That his vehicle received. At some point, there was a final shot where it appeared that at that final shot, Mr. Brown lost control. There was a curve in the yard. At that point, as you may know, his car went down the ditch, across the street, and collided with the tree. When they went to the vehicle, we were able to see when they approached the vehicle, we counted approximately 6, if not more, bullet holes in the side of his car, the passenger side of his car. Windows were shattered. We were able to see one shot in the front windshield. We were able to see a number of shots, approximately 6 at least, in the back. At no point, let me be very clear, at no point did we see Mr. Brown pose a threat to the law enforcement officers every day. My friends, I would suggest to you that it was absolutely unequivocally unjustified. When they opened the door, there were no weapons found. They pulled him by his house. What can I tell y'all, man? They pulled his body face first, there on the ground. As you can see, the bullet wound, they went into the back of the
Again, Deshaun told us all this last night on the American Doofus Show.
So I can't speak on what everybody else saw. I don't know what video that they saw, but I can tell you that what Attorney Lassiter said was exactly what we saw today. So I said this as I told my client, I said this, there was a few hours last weekend. I said something to the effect of, it's a new day.
That's right. That's right.
And so with this being said, and with us being able to see that this is coming to light, I'm confident that our education is more committed now to pursue justice, to make sure that the memory and the legacy of Anthony Brown lives. Because what we saw today was unconstitutional and it was not justified. Exactly what I told you I was going to be.
I've been told my voice is soft, so I need to speak up a little bit. Again, let's be clear. This is an unjustifiable shooting. I said it before, standing by my word, as I said a couple days ago, outside those court steps. We will seek justice for Anthony Brown Jr. That's right.
This is the Lord's son. And you are seeing as pretty much the same as what I see today. But he wasn't involved at all. what's the problem? Comes to light.
That's right. That's right.
Don't be like that. Don't be justice. It won't work. Well, look at each other. That's what she said. My father was not strict, God, not strict. And he was informed to not go to his rest at all. Therefore, there's no way that this can justify. There's no way possible. That's all I say. I am accused of teaching my daughter the word publicly in parts of something to explain. And what I need to explain today is why you have killers in Cascade County that's not in jail. Now we know what they were trying to hide.
That's right. That's it.
Now we know why they didn't want to release the tape.
That's right.
Now we know why they still don't want to release the whole tape.
That's right.
Now we know.
That's right.
What was described? Chance Lent, Churchill Lashley is a master. You should be outraged. You should be outraged. And in 20.
Told y'all, man, it's gonna be a massacre, man.
The man
That
is
scene is so wild.
gunned down by a firing squad. I'll be damned just because they were at a shield of bang that the killer should still walk free.
That's right. That's right.
You, myself,
That's right.
we were probably in the orange junction,
That's right. There you go.
the team, and the tone. Transparency, and now we want accountability.
That's right. That's right.
And we want justice.
That's
We
right.
want justice.
Y'all believe me now, man?
But what we know, what they've been hiding,
All the naysayers,
and Khalil saw it.
I didn't have to
Weeks
seek it
ago,
for
last
you.
week, arrest,
I was out there.
That's right.
conviction,
I described the same thing.
and a long prison sentence.
That's right.
A long prison sentence.
That's
Somebody
right.
say 4-way key.
That's right.
Somebody asked me today. How you say? Somebody asked me today, Attorney Dick, how you feel? I am mad.
Yes.
That's hell.
That's right.
I am mad. That is
Again, this is live.
man, a father to be executed. All this marching, everything we went through. Now, I'm not trying to. There's no indication. There's no indication this time that any charges will be filed. This time. So no, not to us.
Let me also say,
Hold on, y'all.
here that the family is very aware of. There is a huge question about whether or not this family can get justice the way this system is set up here today. We have asked, last Wednesday, we sent a letter and certified, so I know he received it, the district attorney here to recuse himself
Yes.
from this matter. We believe that it's an incestuous relationship between the district
Yeah.
attorney and
It is. We're from here, you know.
Yes. We look at these things together.
For years prosecuting cases with these officers. And his office is literally in the sheriff's department.
Yes, exactly.
We do not believe that we will have a fair set of
That's
eyes.
right. That's right.
Going forward. And I know that people are looking for something to ask for
Again, live from Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Thanks to Deshaun Soul Morris. We had him on the show last night. He told us many of the things that you are hearing now, and that he was being doubted down there. So to his credit, he was telling us the story. We heard it last night first, and go back and check that episode out if you didn't see it. Again, a lot of people live streaming, lots of cameras down there, a lot of bandwidth getting eat up. So the video's a little fuzzy and it cuts in and out, but I do want to stay here to the conclusion of the press conference.
That's on video, by the way. That's on video.
He does have it on video. Deshaun does.
All of them are yelling different things. Some of them are saying, show your hand. Others are saying, sit out. There was so much yelling that we can barely understand what they're saying. So I can imagine what was going through the Brown minds with him having to sit there and hear this, not knowing what it's like. Even with both hands being shown it off. Guys, when the first shot fired, he was sitting in his car and then he began to back up. At no time did we see him go towards a sheriff deputy at any time. When the first shot was fired, what we saw was after the fire, they wanted to get out. Yes, you can see both hands. We can clearly see both hands. Can you see what the first shot? The first shot? All I can say is this.
You know, for far too long in this country, we've become kind of used to the cycle of black bodies being in the street.
Exactly.
And I don't think that we truly understand the pain that these young men are going through. And I just want us all to take a step back and take a breath.
Thank you.
Understand that this is not just another case for them.
Right.
We do this work all the time. We fly around from city to city and cover these cases all across the country. And tell me how you feel. What was your stomach like when you sleep last night? But for them, this is a pain that induces anger, outrage, disbelief, shock. This is pain for this community. This is pain. I don't know how you, I sent the letter. I sent it to the church side. The courtesy would be to call or email or write another letter.
How'd you get this thing? That's what we need to be asking. How'd you get this thing?
Thank you. Yeah, that's the fact. So
I'm trying to understand though. You know me shit.
Our clients, this family.
That's right.
If Andrew Longer was to recuse himself, there would be no prejudice to the officers in this case. In
Exactly.
fact, we would be sure that justice could be carried out.
Exactly.
The fact that he would not do that shows that he has some other.
That's right. Cover up. Cover up. It's a cover up.
But my number is clearly on the letter.
Oh, no, man, but I'm finna start over. I swear, man. I'm finna ask.
A couple more questions.
I wanna know how you know the lawyer don't know, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna ask, bro. How you know the lawyer don't know?
But they're gonna be people and they're gonna be loud.
That's right. We sure is.
This also is not the responsibility
them to find that first time. So even with the remember, you got a dozen law enforcement officers, some of them you don't like, and they're crowding around that car. The first shot they move, and the first shot is fired, and then you can see the car moving back out there. Right.
In the red dress right here? Yes. Tell us who you with again. Shut up.
There were several minutes to each video that added up. I didn't add up every second in terms of the exact amount of time. I will tell you about two things about that. Is that it was redacted. It was not all one way. Their faces were blurred out. You could not see their faces. Even if they were turned, it was blurred out. We were able to see their weapons. But just in all my years of criminal defense and being an assistant district attorney, I have never in my life seen where the defendant gets to choose what evidence
Ain't that
they
something?
show to the world.
Right. Ain't that something?
Yeah, right here.
I'm not sure. I speculate. I'm not sure what they kept from.
Cindy, part of responding to your refusal to DA, what are next steps? Legally. Yes. That's what are the next steps there?
You know, unfortunately in North Carolina, and I wanna also give a thanks to many members of the North Carolina State Legislature. When we were here a few weeks ago, this family said that they wanted Andrew Brown's name to live on. Right now, the North Carolina State Legislature is examining changes to the body camera law as we speak, in a bipartisan act. And that wouldn't happen but for Andrew Brown. And so we're already making a lot of the changes we want to see. What we have learned, though, is that obstruction of justice is basically codified here in North Carolina. Because we really don't have any options other than to take the deck as it's given to us. We're going to raise a lot of hell and a lot of noise about the fact that Walker wants to stay on this case. And if he chooses to stay on this case, we're going to ask him to make sure that he follows through with prosecution officers that murdered Andrew Brown. Unfortunately, we don't have any options. But we're going to go out here and continue to raise our voices. We're going to go out here and continue to fight. And many of the changes that we've seen, whether or not it's this Body Camera Act or the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, we're going to continue to push forward to make these changes on behalf of the family of Andrew Brown Jr. We are, this family's getting out of here. We're going to ask that you at least give them the opportunity without yelling questions at them. Just yell questions at the lawyers. They're used to it. They can take it. Allow Khalil and Gerard and their mother to get out of here.
America don't run because cops kill. We got a whole lot to talk about tonight. Okay. Well, it's exactly what it was, man. Like, y'all just doing it right now. We had the lawyers come out. They brought the family members out, talk for a little bit. I'm going to get out the way because I hate the cameras. Yeah, I know. I just had to get the call. So, right now, what we know for sure, man, is, honest with y'all, man, this is exactly what it was that I told y'all. You know, from the beginning of us pulling up, you know, when this incident happened or whatnot, man, you know, just the way that, you know what I'm saying, the car was, the way that they was doing, like picking up the shell cases and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's details. Remember now that lawyer said it's details, but see, it's an ongoing case. See, I can tell y'all. See those details that they talking about? Y'all gonna find out exactly what it was that we were telling y'all, man. They was out there picking up their own shell cases and cleaning up their own crime scene. See, that's what it is that the lawyers couldn't come straight out and say because it's an ongoing investigation. But that's the fill-in piece. Y'all gonna find out. Yeah, y'all gonna find out.
And again, Deshaun told us that last night. Told us that last night in an interview here on the American Doofus Show. Going to jump back real quick to Jerusalem. As troops have returned and people are beginning to gather again at the gates. You can see a newswoman giving a live and she's out. A quick 30-second update in the newscast there. Thank you for watching, those of you that are with us. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, just outside I believe it's the Damascus Gate of the old city of Jerusalem, right on the border of the old city and what is the Palestinian portion of the city. And more troops now coming in. And we will probably see this in Elizabeth City tonight, not to this extreme, but there will be people in the streets after what we've witnessed as far as body cam footage, and it's to be expected. And they will be met by similarly attired law enforcement. But these are carrying live weapons. It almost looks like a scene from a movie. It's almost like surreal. I am created. I've got footage. I've got footage from earlier today where people were throwing plastic chairs at the troops, and yes, they do have live ammo. Seems they're deploying. Again, we get a look. Again, it's almost like a scene from a movie. We're watching a reporter give a report live as troops leave. For those that doubt that all eyes are really on Jerusalem, this is live from London, England right now, as pro-Palestinian protesters take to the streets. Again, London, England. And again, the disclaimer, as with all episodes, especially with live streams, the show's not responsible for the words, actions of those portrayed in those said live streams. A large protest underway in London. It's been ongoing. Just lost audio. Came unplugged on their end, not on mine. There we go. And one more time, we'll briefly cut back to Ford Fisher. A massive march underway in Washington, D.C.
I guess I would just, is he worried about it? No, but no, whatever you say, but that also doesn't mean that you so, I guess I would probably just say,
Hey, you're welcome, Sean. Thank you for watching. Again, this is live. It is Ford Fisher News to Share. Had him on the show last week. March underway in Washington, D.C. And again, this is just a portion of the march. As Ford pans forward, you'll see the vast numbers ahead. Hey, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I'm going to call an end to this episode. I'm going to keep monitoring and maybe back live later on this evening. There will be protests as the night goes on. It's early, just after 6 o'clock. Again, thank you all for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit the notification bell as well so you know when we come back on. Sometimes the show is an interview, as it was last night with Soul from Elizabeth City, North Carolina. He told us many of the things that that you heard the lawyers reveal, and they will be out protesting tonight. We'll monitor that. We'll monitor what's going on around the world, and we may be back on live. So again, hit the notification button. Please share. Hit the thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. And again, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being with us, being respectful in the comments. And we leave now again from the streets of New York City, or from the streets of Washington, D.C., a large protest coverage thanks to Ford Fisher. And again, Rupley provided some of the footage from Jerusalem, and Deshaun Soul Morris on Facebook gave us the look at Elizabeth City, North Carolina. And thank you all for watching. It is a dark world. Try to be a light. It's the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. I love you all. Until next time.